Hello everyone and welcome back to CalSR. Today we are going to be returning to technology. It's been a while because we've been working on Secretaries of States and stuff. And we're also going to be talking about President Grant, but it's coming up. But for this episode, we're going to be talking about how to use a specific formula in Microsoft Excel and in LibreOffice. Now, the reason I put both of them on there is because this formula works in Excel and in LibreOffice. And the reason I included it in the Linux series is because that is the program that I used. I used LibreOffice on a Linux machine. I used Mint Linux. So there we go. That's why I did that. But let's go ahead and look at this formula real quick. So it's Vlookup. Yay! And like I said, it works with both Excel and with LibreOffice. So in this case, it's equals Vlookup, parentheses E51, comma, B2, colon, B46, comma, 3, comma, 0, and the 0 equals false. And don't forget the parentheses after that. And then we're only going over false this time. There's true and there's false, but we're just going over false on this one. Maybe on the next video or a couple videos down the road, we'll go over true. But for this case, we're just looking at false. Now, you might ask, why would you use VLOOKUP? Well, let's say that here we are with our old spreadsheet of all the presidents, going all the way back to George Washington, with all of their political parties, blah, 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 blah. And even though it's a small data set, it could always be much bigger. And maybe in 100 years from now, this would really be useful for this. But for now, it's a great data set that'll show what I'm trying to demonstrate here. So in this case, we are going to be looking for, Lyndon B. Johnson's information. So we want to know maybe what party he belonged to, when was he in office, and who knows, whatever else we want to look up. So here's how we go ahead and use that formula in this situation. So we go equals VLOOKUP, parentheses D48. Now if you look, that D48 coincides with that name that I put in at D48. So you select that and make that the first one. Then comma, then you put your range. In this case, it's B2 colon E46, comma. And as you can see, that covers all the way from the presidents all the way over to their terms in office. So that's the next one. And then the comma 1 will tell us which column we're looking for. So in this case, we're looking for that first one there. So it's probably going to give us the information for that first one. And then comma 0 for false, and then close it up with the parentheses. So let's see what this gets us. Oh, yes it does. It gets us Lyndon B. Johnson's name, which is that first column. So what happens if we want to find out something else? So we want to go ahead and look up maybe, when was he in office? So we're going to use everything the same except for before the false, the 0, we're going to change that 1 to 2. So here we go. We got the D48 for his own cell, comma, B2 through E46, which is our range, comma, 2. That means for the second column in our data set, comma, 0, and then close it out. That should get us the information from the second column, which is when they were in office, and bam, it certainly does that. We have November 22nd, 1963. I almost did it again. If you watched another video of mine, I like to put people in the wrong centuries. So I almost put him in the 18th century, which is actually Andrew Johnson, not Lyndon B. Johnson. Interesting factoid is that both Johnsons served in the 60s, just different 60s. That's a great joke of my own. So there we go. He was in office from November 22nd, 1963 to January 20th, 1969. As you know, he took over for the assassinated President JFK. Well, now we want to look again, and this time we want to see, hey, what's in column 3? So once again, equals VLOOKUP, open it, D48, which is once again our president's name, to B2 colon E46, once again in our range, comma 3, comma 0, and then close it up. So once again, this should get us the third column. So if we count 1, 2, 3, that should tell us what political party he belonged to. So let's see. Oh, yes, and he was definitely a Democrat. Also, both Johnsons were Democrats. Huh, interesting. They both served in the 60s, and they were both Democrats. Interesting factoid. Well, so here we are, and you can change it for any president. So if we decided to change that Lyndon B. Johnson to Gerald Ford, it should give us the exact same information. All we have to do is change our D48, or we could really put it anywhere and just use that same formula all the way across, and it would get us that same information. It would tell us he was in office from 74 to 70, whatever, and that he was a Republican. So there we go. Well, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, please subscribe, and if you want me to do it in Excel also, just to prove that they are the same, or just because you want to see how it's done in Excel, please feel free to say that. And you guys have a wonderful day.